Yo, what's going on, man? K-Cap again. A lot of things been going on, man. Just got to get it off my chest a little bit. I don't really want to make them long Facebook posts because, I can write if you are familiar with me on social media. Well, really just Facebook because I'm not good at the other ones. But, yeah, man. A lot going on, man. The fight happened this past weekend. Shout out to Tank and Lamont Roach and everybody, putting their life on the line to entertain us and showcase their skills to feed their family. Great fight, man. I definitely think they got to run that back. I feel like, they definitely had some history. I kind of didn't know how that fight was going to turn out simply because, just through the pattern of history, when a fighter speaks on retirement, we don't know how focused and how hungry, they may be, and to get up to make, to fight a hard fight, you know what I'm saying? And also with the history of knockout artists, a lot of times if the opponent is not afraid of them, man, it kind of like it's really the other game plan kind of go out the window. It's like, yo, I'm gonna set them up, but if they don't budge, the fight don't always turn out well. But I think they definitely should run it back. Yeah, that's all I can say about that one, man. I'm not gonna clown nobody, you know what I mean, because I can't do what they did. So, you know what I mean. I study martial arts, but I'm not a boxer. Them guys put their life on the line. I can't do that. So, I salute both of them, man. I salute all fighters, and I respect them. I'm never gonna clown you or whatever, win or lose, knockout, whatever. You know what I mean. It takes a special kind of person, a special kind of warrior to get in that ring and do what they did in front of all those people. So, hope they run it back, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. But what I really want to talk about, man, is the foundational Black American hatred that I've been seeing and witnessing over this past, man, it's really been happening, I want to say, since, I don't know if it was either the Olympics or when Microphone Check came out. Either one. It's been, because people, we've been saying foundational Black American or FBA for a long time. Couple years. I even remember when Luke and Tariq had a conversation and he explained it to him and it was all cool. But it's like you could tell like this narrative. It's like in Hollywood, it's a lot of fake going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, as I remember, Luke was cool with it, and then right around election time, they always send everybody out to Tariq during election time. You know what I'm saying? And during that election time, it just kind of went crazy. You know what I mean? They sent they made a whole narrative like, yo, it's a code, it's a hate group, or all types. It's like, wait a minute. All people have said is we're Black Americans, we just put foundational in there so no one can attach themselves to it. Then everybody say, oh, I heard people say, he's xenophobic or, whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, no one's ever, I find it odd and curious that no one's ever corrected or said anything to any of our African brothers and sisters that has called Black Americans akatas, lazy, and we don't have no culture. Not even just African, just Caribbean, every, different Black people from different, that's not foundational Black Americans. And no one said nothing to check that. So you can kind of see what's going on, and that's what I have to talk about. I recently saw brother Dr. Umar, and I know he's never really rocked with FBA. I've seen it, but I really found it offensive. This recent one, he had I think a Nigerian young brother helping him, And he went on this rant about, if you FBA or ADOS, you cannot come to the school. And he did say, like, if you have hatred for, our African brothers and sisters. And I just was thinking to myself, and I'm like, you going with a dangerous, you going with that dangerous narrative. And it's just, to me, I just feel like, okay, I'm sick of all of the fake stuff. Maybe I'm just getting to the age I can't deal with all of that no more. Because nobody, it's like, we got to keep it real. We got to, exactly what's going on. Like, I don't think people need to be, you don't need to explain what's going on, what foundational Black American freedmen is, or, or even if people want to call themselves ADOS. Black people have been trying to figure out the right term, but what we gonna call ourselves for years. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, at the end of the day, this is, and I put under that post, I don't think that's his YouTube page, but I put under that post, like, yo, you dissing Black Americans. And someone said, yo, that's a, what did he say? He said something like, yo, that's a, that's a Tariq code, and don't inflate the two. And I'm like, man, I tried to respond. They must have erased it. I responded like two or three different times, and they took it out. But you can see that something's happening. And what I'm coming to the understanding of that, basically, I feel like people have a fear of Black Americans coming together, and I don't get into beefing with anybody or whatever the case may be, but I'm starting to see something, and I'm like, man, we really don't have no friends. Like, it's, even with the hip hop thing, it's like, what's wrong with just saying Black folks, Black folks created something that's powerful. Like, you start seeing like Crazy Legs and everybody, and they just like, they keep saying the same narrative that everybody keeps saying, no, nobody said that. Oh, you trying to say we wasn't there. It's like, people have been said you guys was there. Like, that's never was the argument. And they going with that narrative because everybody is like against us. And then I thought about something. I said, but you got to think about this too, man. It just made me think. I'm like, think about this. You know the history of what's happened with Black Americans in this country. From everything, from slavery, Jim Crow, red line, and everything, right? But everybody comes to this country, right? Even though, historically we fought for people to come here, but people came here. So when people came here voluntarily, knowing the history of this country, knowing that this country has some racism, when you come in, and we already know some countries, other countries are, third world, and it's crazy. But you come here willingly. So a lot of times when they come here, people are vetted into having some sort of disdain for Black Americans. And so for me, it's like, when you realize that, and I used to hear that, I had a homie, African brother, man, and I never looked at it, or it never dawned on me. And I remember him, speaking so crazy about how Black Americans are lazy, this, that, and the third. And I didn't, at the time, it puzzled me, but I didn't get too upset, simply because I still looked at him like, he understands. He might have some self-hatred. But I didn't really realize how we do have, it's a difference. As I got older, I started to see it, like, wow. And I remember before then, I used to work at a Korean store in Ohio. They had an urban wear store in the Black community, and I worked there. And I remember the lady, Sue, was telling me, when she came here, they spoke about making sure, you just sell to the Black community, but don't engage, don't really get cool with them. Like, they painted this horrible picture of us. And people come over here with this negative view of us, right? That's why I'm really big on the images and everything with the movies and music, because the stereotypes that our ancestors and our elders fought against, we have now allowed to become our current culture. So I'm starting to see this now. When you say, everybody was delineating before us, you go on social media, you'll see the flags, everybody proud of where they from, even though they might not even want to ever go back there. They're proud of it, and that's fine. That's beautiful. I think everybody has a right to, to raise their flag, wave their flag, and be proud of their flag. But when you a Black American and you say you foundational, whatever it is, that's a problem. And when I saw Dr. Umar say that, and regardless of he might have personal issues with Tariq, he didn't realize he dissed me and he dissed all the other Black folks, and that are proud of that word foundational, that give us something that say, yo, this is us. We don't have, we might have one family member that's from the Caribbean, or others don't have none, like myself. I know I can go back generations now. I might have maybe on my father's father, maybe, but everybody else, my mama's mom, mother's father, my father's mother, all FBA. So it's already is what it is with me, you know what I'm saying? But I love, like, I grew up, my sister's Jamaican though. Like her, I grew up, her father's from Kingston. It's not a problem. My niece and nephews, they Jamaican. My grandbaby is Haitian and Puerto Rican, right? So it's nothing wrong with that. You should be proud of who you are. But when Black Americans say we're foundational, that's a problem. It's a lot of anti-Black American hate going on, and somebody needs to call it out. Now the thing is, it's not popularized, so it's not gonna be a lot of celebrities gonna speak out, right? But I ain't famous. I'm probably gonna get maybe a few views on this, and I'm gonna keep it funky. They kick me off, it is what it is. It's a lot of hate for Black Americans, and people need to realize that. Just because we want to be proud of who we are, they not talking about the people that's antagonizing, and that why would people, if you don't like Tariq, why do you listen to him? Why do you go on his lives and all of that stuff? What is that? That's them feds. That's ops, bro. Like, you could tell that. So I could see that. Like, I've changed. I used to have a lot of respect for a lot of people, but I'm starting to see it's a lot of weird stuff, man. And the older you get, and the older you start to see, like Dick Gregory say, boy, you start to, he said, when the universe picks you, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't really, say it word for word, but you start to see things differently. And when I heard Dr. Umar say that, I've heard Talib Kweli, I'm like, oh, okay. It's no different than when Trayvon Martin got followed by Zimmerman, and they told Zimmerman to fall back, but he got off for free after harassing that young brother, following that young brother. But again, when you a Black American, you ain't supposed to protect yourself. There's a scene, I'm gonna end with this, and I just want y'all to think about this. There's a scene on this movie, the Deacons of Defense, and when Forrest Whitaker had the scene where he was protecting his daughter from the police, and they came to his house to get him, and they slammed him on the table, and it would put the handcuffs on him, and he said, I was just protecting my daughter. And the police, the racist police officer that attacked his daughter said the N-word, said, that's a right you don't have. And I think that's what a lot of people are saying to us, and we just not standing for it. So peace and love. I know a lot of people gonna have their feelings about it. You think it's a cult, but I want you to understand, this is something that Dr. Claude Anderson was asking for us to do for a long time, especially for reparations, for the debt that's owed to Black Americans, foundational Black Americans. No one can attach themselves to that name unless that is your lineage. A lot of African Americans, Elon Musk, what's her name, Charlize Theron or whatever from Fast and Furious, she's an African American. There's a lot of African Americans, a lot of people, Godfrey, and that's the whole thing with him and Lord Jamar. That's I respect that brother. I kind of question what's going on with him and the Lord Jamar, and him doing a lot of things he's doing that kind of, and I really big that brother up because I rock with him, and I know, that's between them two, but I did, I appreciated he did bring Peter Guns. I thought that was cool, but the kind of, either way, that brother that's an African American and that's a Black American. But there's a difference. When a person can't attach themselves to foundational Black Americans, it's a problem. And now everybody's calling foul. Everybody's allowed to be proud except us. And we just ain't going for it. So I love everybody. Shout out to everybody from all the continents, from all the Caribbean, all the diaspora brothers and sisters, man. Peace and love. Love yourself, love your people, man. Don't get mad when black folks start loving ourselves, though. Forget what they told you. We gonna be proud. All right? Peace.
We shine. We shine. We shine.
Yeah.